Hi everyone, I am back this week with a chatty video. I have been in the throes of mayhem with end of school holidays and the beginning of school, so journaling content's going to be pretty light over the next week or so. I do humbly apologize, but by the end of the day, I am too exhausted to care about my desk. All I want to do is sit in front of the television, so I will do my absolute best to get back into good routines, but it might take me a little while. You know, my daughter's also a bit clingy because her brother's off at school, and then my son is exhausted because he's at school. So we're just in that stage of life where we're reintroducing good, healthy routines again. Anyway, on to the stuff that you care about. I got my Moazi order this week. Actually, that's a lie. It was like 2 weeks ago. But I remembered to put the unboxing in this week's video. Unfortunately, when I did the initial unboxing, I was so incredibly overwhelmed because there was so much in it. Now, I did do a joint order with my dearest friend Nerys. Shout out to Nerys. So I knew there was going to be stuff in it. You know, we both got a lot of the same stuff. We did double up on a lot of things. But when I opened this packet, I'm like, this is not our order. There was way too much in there. Turns out, just a bunch of freebies. After emailing Moazi, I was like, hey, did you mean to send us this one? And when I showed them pictures and stuff like that, they were like, oh yeah, no, that's just the freebies because you ordered so much. I was like, jiggies! So, but I did remember to film the blind bag unboxings. I got the blind bags for the 5th anniversary set. I would have loved to actually buy the physical set, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. I had all my fingers and toes crossed that I would get the little guy blowing the trumpet with the flowers coming out of the trumpet, and I did! So I'm very thrilled with that. Only one duplicate too, which I think is pretty good, considering I bought 5 bags. You know, there was a good chance that I would double up. The extra just ended up going to Nerys anyway, because she is my Moazi pal. I have decided we're pals for Moazi. So I'm also probably saying Moazi wrong, and I apologize to the creator. I'm so sorry that I'm useless at pronunciation. It's also really tricky because, like, you know, you can't just Google these things a lot of the time. It's very frustrating. Anyway, so I got that order. It's magnificent. I just love Moazi. I think I will be a ride or die for them for a long time. So I'm very pleased. I'm using the hydrangea petals everywhere. I am obsessed with them. I have been wanting them for quite a while, at least for over a year, but I just haven't been able. Every like stationery store is constantly sold out of them, or when they do get back into stock, I'm not in a position to buy them because it is quite expensive ordering from overseas now. The $40 shipping alone, you know, is a bit intense. So going directly through creators it can be quite a lot cheaper. Especially if you're willing to go in with friends, because, you know, the shipping cost is immediately halved. So, which is really, really handy. Anyway, I'm using the hydrangea petals everywhere. I love them. It's my favorite. And yeah, just everything's so cute. I love it. Anyway, so that's the Moazi order. The other thing that happened last week is I decided with 2 seconds of thought to cut down my olive TN. I have decided to stop trying to make regular sizes work. Now, I haven't boycotted regular sizes in general. I still have 2. I have the Kyoto edition and the Camel. The Kyoto is currently my D&D notebook because why not? And the Camel was just going to sit there and sit in the dark and think about what it did. No, it's going to be I don't even know if they have a name for this, but when you just use it for like sticker release books, a craft folder, and a cotton folder. So basically just like a mini Delphonics, or just a different way to store paper bits and sticker sheets and things like that. So I am using it for that. I'm not a massive fan of the Camel. One could say I hate it, and I wouldn't correct them if they did say that, because I'm not a huge fan. However, I will say, with the green accents, I've got a green clothesband and the olive cotton folder inside the camel. It kind of looks kind of nice. So I can tolerate it for now, you know. It's on a trial basis. But I don't mind it. It's quite pretty. So, yes, that's what I'll be using those for. But the reason why I decided to cut down the olive is because olive is my favorite color. And it just hasn't been using. I just don't use regular haven't been using? What is that? I haven't been using it. Regular sizes are my size. I have not been able to make it work, and like I said before, I'm done trying. So I cut it down so it can be my new music journal. So you'll probably see it more on the channel now, because it was my personal journal, and that's out. That's now my Hobonichi. So very pleased. If you are curious how I do cut them down, because I did kind of cheat in this one, I did end up using my A6 brown as a stencil. But, you know, if you actually want to know how to do it with just a ruler and measuring, I do have a video on my YouTube. I will link it below or in the cards or wherever you will be able to find it. Don't worry if you are super curious. I personally prefer my TNs when I cut them down to have the elastic closure in the middle like it does normally. I know a lot of people prefer to keep the Traveler's Notebook branding down the bottom, so depending on what you prefer is how you will cut it, but I always measure from the elastic closing point because I prefer that to be in the middle. So yeah, so I cut it down. It's going to be my music journal. I'm going to make my brown A6 a sort of like a ranting journal, or just like a morning pages style journal of if my brain is too noisy, I will use it to help me escape myself a little bit, because, you know, sometimes your brain is just too noisy and you need to get rid of it. As you can see, I'm trying to cut the corners with a corner cutter, like a paper corner cutter. Doesn't work, it's too thick. Anyway, what else? Nothing else has really happened other than that, though. Like, again, I thought about that for like 2 whole seconds, and I just decided to do it, because I really like A6. The small size is just me. I just thrive in small sizes. I love my passports. I love my A6s. I've realized that the A6 is my perfect size for like long form journaling. I really struggle long form journaling in a passport because it fills up too quickly. I'm still a fan of not having to change an insert every 2 weeks. I do like, unless it's like a junk journal where it does get quite thick, but with just writing or very minimal decoration, I would like it to last longer than a couple of weeks. But with the passport, I do find that I use up inserts very, very quickly, whereas A6s tend to last a little bit longer, which is, yeah, so it's a sweet spot for me, I think, and which is, I think, a big reason why the Hobonichi has become my everything journal, because I can decorate it a little bit, but the way I show up in a Hobonichi, I'm a little bit slower. I'm more intentional with my words as well. It's not just vomiting thoughts. I do try to actually recall things properly. So there's just a lot more intent behind the Hobonichi, and I've been really enjoying being in it. But I do need a space to just, like I said, word vomit and just get out of my head. So that's what the brown will eventually become. I have a pocket-sized journal at the moment that I had spare, and I've been using that for now. Once that's used up, I will make a nice chunky insert for the brown. Haven't actually really curious about trying to make a big chunky journal with just the classic, I think it's called a single saddle stitch thing, to keeping it all together. I'm not sure how it will go. I had considered getting a like sterling ink notebook for the A6 as well, but I didn't want to buy a bunch of things. And again, ordering from the US is so expensive. Just conversion rates alone are horrendous at the moment. So it's just not worth the investment for something that I'm just going to be scrolling in. So I gotta figure out how to make a good notebook within the confines of what I know, how I know to bookbind. If that made any sense. Was that a functional sentence? Probably. I don't know. It'll do. That is it. I did find out last week that whilst trying to find them, that the LCN gummed specimen labels aren't being made anymore by the sounds of it. Like, I was on their website and it's in the section of like, it won't be restocked or it no longer will be in rotation. And I nearly cried because those gum specimen labels have been just a consistent of mine. Like, I never run out of them. I've always got them stocked. And yeah, they've been that way since the beginning. Ever since I started junk journaling, they are one of the things that I always buy. So I'm really sad about that. I don't like it. I don't like those sort of things. Like, just keep stuff, please. So I'm probably going to hoard them as much as I possibly can. I did already buy another set of both just recently because I am running low, but I will probably try and keep an eye out for them and order them every time I do a stationery order. I will see if they have them in stock, and if they do, I will probably purchase them because, like I said, I love them. They're a standard for me. They're one of those things that if I lost everything in a fire, what would I immediately replace? And those would be very high on the list. So that's some random stationery news, I guess. So I don't have really anything else stationery wise. Like I said, I haven't really been at my desk a lot the last couple of weeks. Just been too busy with other life stuff. So I think I will talk about media now. Haven't really been watching anything new. Although the new Abbott Elementary season came out on Disney last week, so I've watched that, and it's such a good show. It's so good. I finished a book called Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. I was recommended this via Reddit. Naturally, Reddit's the best for those sort of things, because they keep saying that, if you really loved Madeline Miller, you'll really love Natalie Haynes, especially 1,000 Ships, because it's, they say it's the Trojan War, but from all the women's perspectives. And I thought, I don't really want to not read another Troy story so soon after Achilles, the Song of Achilles. I was like, I've already read that. I'll do something else. And then I realized Natalie Haynes had a book about Medusa. And I was like, love that. That's going to be great. If it's anything like how Madeline Miller, my name is Madeline, and it's so weird seeing Madeline. I don't often see Madeline, which is really odd because it seems to be a more popular name. So every time I see it, I just assume, oh no, they've spelled it wrong. It's Madeline. Because it's literally one letter difference. I have an extra E in my name, and Madeline doesn't. So anyway, if I liked Miller, I'll just call her Miller because that's also her name. If it's anything like Miller's writing, it's going to be spectacular. And again, it's Medusa, so a gut-wrenching story, a beautiful story, in a tragic way, and it was just trash. Oh my gosh. I think because I had the expectation that people would say, oh, you'll love Natalie Haynes if you love Madeline Miller, I had that expectation of these beautiful single POV deep dive into a character sort of novel. I did not get that. I got 1,000 perspectives that did not seem relevant at all. I think Medusa's chapters were maybe 3. There was a lot, for some reason, a lot of Athene and a lot of... I've immediately forgotten his name. Oh, no. It's Perseus. And, like, why? Why am I reading about the 2 people who made her life miserable versus her? Like, this is... I was so upset. And again, chapters were no longer than like 1 or 2 pages. It was, yeah, it felt really, it just didn't feel finished at all. I didn't feel any sort of emotion for anybody. It was almost boring. None of the characters were that different. You know, they all read like spoiled brats, and it was so infuriating. Again, I was hoping for a Medusa story. I wanted to feel things. I was prepared to sob, and the majority of the time I was bored. By like 40%, I was just, you know what, this is a rage read now, because I hate this. This is so boring, and I was bored. So no, I would not recommend that book. But I do fully understand that my expectations were through the roof because of how it was recommended. But at the same time, Stoneblind wasn't even the one they recommended. They recommended 1,000 Ships. But I know that 1,000 Ships is multiple POV because it's about all the women. And so I will not be venturing to read that particular book. Yeah, no, I just, no. Like, I'm mad thinking about it again. It's been like 2 weeks since I finished it. Not a fan at all. And I was really excited. I've been really into like the Greek retellings. It's been wonderful. And no, just so mad. However, Camille, lovely Camille, beautiful Camille, did recommend me to read the webtoon Lore Olympus. And it was so much fun. Like, I'm not super used to reading comics. Like, the only comic books I've really read, well, like 10 years ago when I was reading like Deadpool comics and Captain Marvel comics and Moon Knight comics. Not Captain Marvel, Spider-Gwen. And my husband likes Captain Marvel. So I was reading those sort of comics, and then obviously I've been reading the Avatar The Last Airbender comics as they come out. But even then, the webtoon sort of style is even different again to just traditional comic books. So the format was a bit weird for me. Like, I'm not used to less dialogue, more visual pictures. Like, you had to look at the pictures to understand how they're feeling and stuff like that a lot more. But it was so fun. All the characters were really interesting. All the characters were really entertaining. I felt rage for Apollo. My heart broke for Hera. It was just really fun, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you, Camille, for bringing me back from the brink, because I was so ready to give up on Greek mythology after Stoneblind. I was so upset at that book. Now I'm reading Paranisi. Is that how you say it? I've immediately forgotten what the book is called. Let me look at my books. Yeah, Paranisi. I would say Paranisi. By Susanna Clarke. It's gorgeous. It's lovely written. I've not been able to read it at the length that I would like to. I'm usually finished a book by now. I've had that book loaded on my Kindle for about 2 weeks, and I'm only like 50 or 20% in now. Because again, I'm just so tired by the end of the day, and I haven't been able to just dedicate time to reading yet. I enjoy reading, but it's not like the highest of my high priorities when it comes to hobbies. Like, I would prioritize journaling over reading, which I've had to do over the last couple of weeks. But I've been reading a smidgen of it every night before I eventually fall asleep. I have fallen asleep with it in my hands a couple of times. But that says nothing about the book. It's how tired I am at the end of the day. I'm really enjoying the book. It's beautifully written. And again, it's one of those things I have absolutely no expectations of. I had no idea what it was about. I still don't. So yeah, it's great. It's been a really lovely change to like the Greek mythos that I've been really deep into. I will probably try and find another Greek retelling next. I might try and find a Eros and Daphne retelling, because I like that. It's cute. Is it Eros and Daphne? Is her name Daphne? I can't remember now. Oh no. But yes, I'm very excited for those. What else have I been I've started watching Magic and Misfits, the Dimension 20 show. It's been really good. So Magic and Misfits is about... It's essentially Harry Potter. That's probably the best way to describe it, but like it's a foreign exchange student situation. 4 American kids get picked to go to Hogwarts and that sort of stuff. They make a lot of like Harry Potter references it's canon in the show that Harry Potter is a book that the characters have read, but the people at the Hogwarts school have no idea of its existence. The whole thing is basically these American kids logically pulling apart the Harry Potter universe, like logically. And as someone who read the books really late and logic took over a lot of the magic of those books, again, I don't have the nostalgia for it. So sitting there watching them go, oh, that makes absolutely no sense. I'm like, yes, it doesn't. It doesn't make no sense. Thank you. It was very validating for me. So yeah, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Brandon Lee Mulligan is a freak of nature. And Lee Wilson will forever hold my heart. I adore that man so much. The charisma that drips from his pores is ridiculous. And obviously Abria Nygaard is Abria in Nazi. I've immediately lost it. Abria is an incredible DM. I want to be her when I grow up. Like, I genuinely do. She's so magical. The way she spins words. Oh, she's heaven. Anyway. So it's incredible. I really love it. Erika Ishii's character is like an edgelord. She wants to be really cool. She wants to have a demon inside her. She's turning into a Disney princess, and I think that's hysterical. And I love it. The way she's playing it is 10 out of 10. It's so good. Dimension 20 is just incredible. I really, really love it. So I'll be watching that slowly because they are like 2 to 3 hour long shows. I will split that up over a couple of nights because it's a lot of role play to get through. I can't often sit and watch an entire D&D show in one go. I do need a little bit of a break here and there. But yeah, they're excellent. Very, very good. But that's really it. That's all I've really been watching and reading and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm going to leave it here. I've been talking for 20 minutes. I think I've said some stuff. I will leave you now with just some classic journaling. I did a single piece of journaling last week. And I did enjoy it because it was in my new A6 olive, which was very cute. And as you can see, I'm obsessed with the Moazi hydrangea stamps. They're so cute. I love them. Anyway, I will hopefully talk to you guys next week. I have no idea what it'll be about, but hopefully I'll be there. Alrighty, take care of yourselves. I will see you later. Goodbye.
you.